Welcome.
Yes. I was particularly glad to hear Angie's talk last week because he talked on the theme of silence. And when I first got the announcement, I guess I kind of misread it. I thought they were just saying, Bob, we want you to have silence for your presentation. So it was nice to know it was the actual theme. But when I started concentrating on that, a totally different approach came to me. And when I think totally different approaches, I think of Stephen, of course, to be my partner in this. So we are going to do something that I've told him I consider more of a performance than a talk. So as we go through this, there may well be times where you have this urge to applaud, or this urge to boo. What we're going to ask is you hold all of it until the end. And I say that because there actually are places where we totally pause in it. So please don't applaud or anything until the very end of it. I think that'll be obvious. If it's not, when I go sit down. I think it'll be more obvious than that. So, with that, Stephen. Before the beginning, there was silence. The silence was all there was, and the silence prevailed. Indescribable, beyond all words, the silence was the essence of divine thought. And the thought of the silence brought forth the void. Without sound or motion, yet it brought forth the void. For the void was nothing. No action, no word was needed to bring forth the no thing that was the void. Being no thing, it has no boundaries. Being no thing, it has no limitations. Without boundaries or limits, the silence and the void are eternal and infinite. Because they are no thing, the silence and the void are the potential for all things. Without limitations, there is no restriction from the no thing to become something. Therefore, the silence and the void are the repository of all potential. Though they were nothing, they held the possibility of all that could ever be. Then the potential of the silence came forth as the Word. The Word, Om, the original sound that generated the beginning. With the Word, the first potential was realized. The first potential was the beginning for all potential. The Word spoke of all that was and all that could be. Within this beginning, the Word burst forth within the void. Om, the original sound that vibrated through the void. embodying the potential of this silence, ignited the potential of the void. The potential of the void brought forth the Tao, the oneness. The oneness was all potential in a single manifestation. Being all potential, it was the essence of the ongoing creation. This infinite creativity of the oneness brought forth the yin and the yang, the twin forces that make up all aspects of the universe. Light and dark, male and female, fire and water, opposites, yet interconnected. The yin embodies the potential of its own destruction and its rebirth as the yang. The yang embodies the destruction of itself and its rebirth as the yin. With their very essence is their destruction and rebirth. This cycle of destruction and rebirth is the power of creation. And with this power, the cycle of the yin and the yang brought forth all things. And all that was brought forth was imbued with the power of creation. And yet, the silence prevailed. From the silence came the void. From the silence came the Word. From the Word and the void came the oneness. From the oneness came the yin and the yang. The cycle of the yin and the yang brought forth the power of creation. All things are imbued with the power of creation. As the power comes from the cyclic nature of destruction and rebirth, so the evolution of the power of creation is part of that cycle. First was the one energy. Through its destruction, it was reborn as the four energies. Through their transformation, matter was born. And the matter came together to form hydrogen. And the hydrogen came together and blazed out as stars. And within the fire of the stars, the hydrogen let go of its identity and became helium. Through its destruction within those stars, helium became carbon. And so as each element is destroyed, it is reborn as a new, more complicated element. The cycle continued, and elements let go of their identities and became molecules. And molecules gave up their independent existence and joined to form substances. These substances are the essence of the physical universe: water, stone, atmosphere, sands, all matter of materials. And still, the silence prevails. But the cycle, throughout the dark reaches of space, throughout the stark landscapes of dead worlds, the silence prevails. But the cycle of the power of creation continued, and the substance transformed and was infused with a new energy. The old substance ended and life began. The first life was simple. Its power was simple. It recreated itself again and again. But the power of creation cannot be limited. And the old life was destroyed and reborn as something new. The process of the death of the old and rebirth as the new form continued for eons. Then, from deep within the silence, a new potential emerged. Life became aware of itself, and consciousness was born. And within consciousness, the silence prevailed. From silence to void, to word, to oneness, to yin and yang, to substance, to life, to consciousness, all infused with the power of creation. Consciousness bursts forth, empowered by the power of creation. Consciousness created tools, created clothes, vehicles, foods, and weapons. Consciousness remade the environment. It reveled in change. It created and destroyed and created again. Like a child learning to walk, consciousness rose and fell and rose again. And the human beings looked around and wondered, from where had they come? To where are they going? And they created the gods and asked for answers. But the silence still prevailed. Some heard the echoes of their questions and thought the gods had spoken. Some heard the thoughts in their own minds and thought the gods had spoken. But still, the silence prevailed. And the cycle of creation continued. Old consciousness dies and new consciousness is born. And each rebirth brings new enlightenment. And rebirth of a consciousness occurs with each child born. And rebirth of consciousness occurs each time fear is destroyed. And rebirth of consciousness occurs each time hatred dies and is replaced by love. And the new consciousness sought for truth. It searched the old gods, but found them lacking. It searched the religions that paint God with hatred, and found them lacking. It searched all around, but could not find truth. Then the new consciousness searched deep within itself. It looked past its desires. It looked past its thoughts. In deep meditation, it went beyond the void. And there it found the silence. And in the silence, it found all truth. And in the silence, it found all power. And so it is with each of us. As we destroy fear and hatred within us and let love grow, so will our consciousness be reborn. When it is reborn and reborn and reborn, we will become a new consciousness. And each time we seek something new, each time we wonder where to turn, each time someone turns to us for help, we will know to return to the silence within us. And within each of us, the silence will prevail. Silence prevails.
Bravo!